Who remembers the film Jaws? Roy Schneider leaning on the mast of his rapidly sinking boat as the shark emerges from the water, brandishing his bloodied, serrated teeth for one final kill. Keep that serrated image in your head, because this is the new Jaws MD5 wedge from Callaway with a new groove design to spin your socks off. So let's take a golf bitter look under the water at this one. Well, from modest beginnings, Callaway have come a very long way in the wedge game, and since acquiring Roger Cleveland, they now sit second only to Titleist Vokey wedges in global sales. Now, the new Jaws MD5 wedge replaces the very excellent MD4. Now, check out our stocks of that if you're after a bargain, and let's be frank here, if you're already gaming MD4 wedges and not playing more than 3 times a week, then you're probably not going to notice much difference in performance. But if you're playing a wedge that's maybe seen 150 to 200 rounds, then watch on, as the MD5 might just change your game around the green. Because the MD5 is all about aggressive grooves, more bite, more zip, more spin, call it what you will, but Callaway say the newly designed MD5 groove structure reduces launch angle by 1 degree and increases by 500 RPMs of spin on 40-yard shots in testing, which is a serious claim. So how do they do it? Well, without going into the actual numbers, Callaway have redesigned the angle of the sidewall of the grooves on the club. They say that each one takes 10 minutes to mill, and the cutting tool is changed every 15 wedges to ensure strict design tolerances are met. The Jaws MD5 also features Callaway's groove-in-groove technology, and that's kind of like protruding mini grooves on the face, which they say create 84 different points of impact on each wedge face. Now, that might be pertinent to those of us who tend to play in a lot of wet conditions. Let's face it, we do, where groove in groove preserves over 800 RPM of spin while maintaining lower launch. It's the difference between a ball dropping and stopping on a wet day and that heartbreaking bounce and then skid over the back of the green. You know it from 85 yards and in. The Jaws MD5, it's made from 8620 mild carbon steel for excellent feel, and the overall look with the blue buttons on the back is very classy. The lower lofted wedges are actually smaller, and from 54 degrees and up they get bigger, which makes for a nice practical progression. There's also a choice between platinum chrome and tour grey finishes. Speaking of choice, the real choice is which grind to buy. The S grind is the stock or standard one wedge does all version. It's a mid bounce offering available in every loft and the real universal choice. The C grind has less bounce and increased heel relief. This is the one for the players who want to splay the face open and get creative around the green. It'll also suit players who play on links golf courses or players with a generally shallower swing plane. The X grind then has more bounce and a wider sole, but again, this is the one for players who want to get creative with the face but who generally play in softer conditions. It'll also suit players who like to drop down steeply or chop into the ball. Note that the X grind though is only available in 58 and 60 degrees. The W grind is basically Callaway's version of a wide-soled sure out wedge. There's a high bounce option and a tour inspired low bounce version for pros to use on full shots into the green and then be versatile around the green with it. Stock shaft in the Jaws MD5 is the True Temper Tour issue 115 blue silver, and there's a Project X Catalyst 80 if you prefer a graphite shaft. So there it is. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, the Callaway MD5 Jaws wedge. We'll have all the lofts and grinds here in Golf Bitter. In fact, we have so many, we're going to need a bigger boat. Make sure you subscribe to the Golf Bitter YouTube channel and follow us across all social platforms. But for me for now, It's Donal out.